I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe that they actually gave it a draw. And in fact, if I didn't win that last round, they had me losing. You know, I thought I was comfortably winning.
He didn't do enough to win. I didn't do enough to win. And people's expectation for me to just run him over. And I wasn't able to do that. And it disappointed them, and they felt great because of what he did. And you know, but still, when they look at it on a reasonable note and measure both guys as world champion, then you can only say, well, it's a draw.
You know, I realized that he wasn't as good as I thought he was, you know, as he was made out to be. You know, I thought he had all this experience and all this great skill, but I realized that, you know, my skill was just as superior or even better.
And it's kind of sad to know that we are going to fight, and he thought I was easy. Then what would he say to the people when something happened to him? You know, he'd be embarrassed. That's the reason people put pressure on themselves, because of the immaturity.
Hold out. Let's round he go out, y'all. Be out of here.
I did feel that I was going to knock him out in the third round. But the next driving factor after that was that I didn't feel good either. So I didn't get him in the third round. Then I realized that, shoot, I got another 9 round. Kind of foolish to change something that kind of worked for him. So I would think that he would fight the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be not a smart boxer if I'm not using all my equipment. And I say my equipment, my size, my reach, my movement, and my power towards my advantage.
Holyfield has to get inside and punish this guy. He cannot fight outside. The guy is big, he's cagey, and he likes to grab. He got good range. He knows how to keep you outside, and he's not going to gamble.
Well, to take advantage, I would have to move. I'm the smaller man and a lot quicker. So more movement that I do will work to my advantage. I had to fight this style of fight when I fall ready to both. I'm going to do the very best that I can. I just think the best will allow me to knock him out.
After the first fight, you told us that your stomach had ached, your legs had cramped, and you felt lethargic. How do you feel? How fit and ready to fire are you now, about an hour away from fighting this guy again?
Well, I'm great. It's not about the feeling. It's what I'm going to do once I get in the ring.
What'd you have to eat?
I had steak and salad.
How do you plan on making this an inside fight with Lennox Lewis tonight?
Well, I'm not planning on making it anything. I'm going to be led by the Holy Spirit. Go out there, you know, and what happened will happen, and it would be great.
But heavyweights, to win these belts, you got to impose your will on the other guy. Will you go to the body more with him?
Well, it's hard to say. Like I said, you know, I'm led by the Holy Spirit, and I'm sure that it may be a little everything.
Evander, you're a 37-year-old underdog. How anxious, sitting here right now, are you to prove the world wrong again?
Well, you know, I'm not anxious. I just know what's going to happen, and I go out there and do it in a great way and give the Lord the glory for it.
Evander, you vowed to bring more to the table this time. What are we about to see?
Well, it's going to be something great. I am bringing a lot to the table this time.
In terms of a decision, can you win a decision against this guy?
Well, I will win regardless shoot whichever way I knockout decision. I guess I ain't number 2 way you can win. I guess I 3 somebody gets disqualified, but regardless shoot, I will win.
Determined to knock him out?
Well, the fact is that, you know, I will win, and whatever way it comes, you know, is pleasing.
With heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield. Let's go back to you, JB. Okay, we're with Lennox Lewis, the WBC heavyweight champion of the world. Lennox, this time you're the favorite. How are you going to spend this next hour mentally guarding against overconfidence?
Well, you know, I haven't got the belts yet, so I can't be overconfident. I'm still on a mission. My mission's not complete until I get all 3 belts, and I'm just serious until that point.
You want to make this an outside fight or an inside fight?
I want to make it whatever fight happens. You know, you never know what develops. I can switch styles and adapt very well. So it depends what, you know, what comes out of it.
What would be your preference?
To knock him out. As simply as that, just to knock him out.
You know, sitting here now, an hour before, mentally locking and loading for this fight. How do you envision Holyfield Lewis 2 unfolding in your mind?
I think it's just going to be a great fight. You know, I showed my superiority the first time, and this is what I'm planning to do the second time as well.
Again, all week you've proclaimed you're not going to leave any doubt. So what are we about to witness?
You're going to witness a great fight, and with, of course, Lennox Lewis winning.
What's this music, by the way?
This is Real Groove.
So you are getting ready, huh? The right way.
Oh, yeah, and got some abyss in there as well.
Okay. With the heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis. Back to you, JB.
March 13th, 1999, the night Evander Holyfield and Lennox Lewis would unify the heavyweight championship for the first time in 7 years. Not since Ali Frazier won had Madison Square Garden played host to a heavyweight title fight of this magnitude.
Now we're ready for the bout. Can it live up to its build-up?
Lewis, in the biggest fight of his often-criticized career, started strong.
And he pinches against the ropes as Lewis lands a right hand. Bigger man, George. Bigger punch.
I felt that I was well in control of the fight. Like I said, I kept him at bay with the jab. I threw more punches than him. He had no answer for Lennox Lewis in this fight.
Holyfield threw only 24 total punches in the first 2 rounds, but boldly stood by his prediction of a 3rd-round stoppage.
This round he go out, y'all. He out of here.
Holyfield landed a left hook inside and lands a right hand, and Lewis is stunned. Evander attacking, trying to fulfill the prophecy.
I hit him with a good shot, but it didn't break him down enough. And it was almost like it's a victory for him to get past 30. He was happy, and I was kind of angry with myself.
Using his 6-inch reach advantage, Lewis regained control of the fight.
Uppercut, right hand. Holyfield stunned in the middle of the ring.
The overwhelming belief among the Madison Square Garden crowd and the millions viewing worldwide was that Lewis had claimed the victory. But when the cards were tallied, the impossible became reality.
The decision is even a draw.
Lennox Lewis has just been robbed of the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world.
8 months since the controversial draw comes the rematch, and at stake once again, the undisputed heavyweight championship. Evander Holyfield thrives on rematches. In 1993, he avenged the loss to Riddick Bowe from the year before.
For the 2nd year in a row, they fought the fight of the year.
And 2 years ago, Holyfield floored then-champion Michael Moore 4 times as payback for the 1994 meeting won by Moore.
I want to win this fight because I learned from my mistakes, and I'm willing to do what's necessary to be victorious in the fight.
Lennox Lewis is looking for redemption. This rematch offers him a chance to earn the belts the judges denied him in their first fight.
Lennox Lewis is going to be undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I've been in the ring with him already, so I know what it takes to beat him. I know what I need to work on to beat him, and that's what I'm going to do.
Both fighters have had plenty of time to contemplate March 13th and why tonight will bring a different result.
Evander Holyfield has no answer for me. He had no answer for me in the first fight. He doesn't know what to do against a boxer like me.
That man don't realize that he had the golden opportunity to be the heavyweight champ of the world. But because he didn't give his own, he gets a draw. Now he's complaining about they should have gave me. We're not in the business where they give you anything. It's where you take.
With the undisputed heavyweight championship on the line, can Evander Holyfield yet again rise to the occasion when it matters the most? Or will Lennox Lewis, with his size and reach advantage, finally earn his due?
The 2nd most beloved heavyweight in Great Britain, overshadowed by the far less competent Frank Bruno. But there is the record for Lewis, 34 wins, the draw in New York, the 1 loss to Oliver McCall, later avenged. Twice he has won heavyweight titles.
Field already had that and other 1 more great fights.
Evander Holyfield's extraordinary boxing record: 36 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 25 KOs. 2 of the losses to Riddick Bowe, 1 to Michael Moorer, and of course the draw last March 13. Now let's go to ring announcer Jimmy Lennon Jr. to step it up one more level.
Come on, let's go, let's go.
And Lewis fires a rare left hook. More sheer energy than was the case in New York. And whacking away at Lewis on the inside. Turner is yelling at Evander from his corner. He doesn't want to fight.
Inside, lets Lewis come up with a nice uppercut.
Hard right hand by Holyfield. Right hand over the top by Lewis.
Ooh, that right hand on the side of the head hurt.
Kind of slid past Evander's ear, though.
Yep. Good left hook.
And Holyfield grinning as Lewis lands a big right hand. As Lewis goes under and then over with the right hand. Holyfield with the right hand and Lewis with his own right hand. Big left hook by Holyfield.
They're head to head now. Head to head.
Lewis is hurt. Combination. Hard right hand by Holyfield.
Left hook upstairs now.
Another left hook, and Lewis backs up and ducks. Fires a right hand back and goes to the body. Lewis has landed some shots in this round and may in fact be winning the round. Right there.
Knows what to do and when to do it.
Lewis throws more and lands more. Five more seconds of fighting. They fought a lot better fight this time.
Gentlemen, tonight boxing crowns an undisputed heavyweight champion. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Jerry Roth scores at 115 to 113. Judge Chuck Joppa scores at 116 to 112. Judge at ringside, Bill Graham sees it 117 to 111. All three in favor of the winner and the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Lennox Lewis.
You had some anxious moments after this fight, understandably. What were you thinking about before they announced the decision?
Well, I was concerned because it went to the decision. I was really concerned because, you know, I realized that he wasn't doing any work in the beginning of the rounds and he was trying to steal at the end of the round. So I didn't know what the judges were looking for. So I was trying to bide my time and score the points at the same time.
He hit you with more shots in this fight, some clean shots. In the middle of the fight, he seemed to daze you for a moment. Were you ever seriously hurt?
No, I wasn't hurt. I was just playing. I was playing because I wanted him to sap his energy a bit. And it worked for a couple because I realized he was breathing after that.
What did he do to make this a more difficult fight?
Well, you know, when I was jabbing him, he was just coming in with his head and trying to get in close with his head. So I was concerned about his head, at the same time backing up and trying to score my points.
So you were not able to control the fight with your jab as you did last time, because he jabbed more, because he came inside more, and so you had to engage him in more exchanges in this fight?
Yeah, when I was exchanging with him, he was keeping his head low and he was coming in straight with his head straight. So it was hard for me to engage some shots. At sometimes I would just move him to the side and throw off a combination. I was trying to catch him with the jab as he was coming in.
As we're standing here, 6,500 British fans traveled 5,000 miles to witness this moment. What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking I've got to go on with all the belts, for real. With all these fans coming here to support me, I've got to pull it out. So I have to push myself and get in there and really, really dig down.
The first unified heavyweight champion from Britain in a century. What do you think this will do for your legacy as a fighter, for the respect you have tried to win over the last decade?
I think, I went through some trials and tribulations, and, enough people were trying to stop me. The Americans didn't want me to take it over the Atlantic to Britain, but I actually persevered and succeeded.
Will you come back to America to defend your title?
Yeah, because the money's big over here. I realize the casinos are paying big money, but, I might fight one fight over in Europe first and make everybody come over there.
What are you going to do to celebrate tonight?
I'm just going to chill out, really. I don't really overdo it. I know a lot of people are going to want to talk to me and see me, and I'm just going to relish the moment.
Thank you very much. We relish this fight.
Yes, big up IRFM, our crew. Big up. Yes.
Evander, in those moments waiting for the decision after what happened in March, what were your thoughts at that time? Did you think you had won the fight, or did you just not know how the decision was going to go?
Well, the fact is, first of all, I want to thank the Lord, and He's good, His mercy. Lord give victory, and man give decision, but we have to live with Him. But in the front of the decision stuff, I did all that I could. I wasn't judging the fight. Like I said, my words don't twist. When things fall into the hands of the judges, the judges make a decision to who they want to get.
What do you believe in your heart, in your head, about the decision?
Well, it's hard to say. The fact is that, I go in there and I don't observe the fight. I do all that I can while I'm there.
How did you make this a more competitive fight than the last one in the eyes of many of us?
Well, the fact is that, I was able to take away the jab. I didn't get hurt by the jab, and I was able to engage the jab and to be able to know that, McCona tell me all he's trying to do is make you make the first move where he can just pop shots. And I was able to, count it off his pop shots.
So did that mean that he had to come in and stand in exchange with you, which is what you wanted?
Well, he did, and
do you give him credit for that? Because you have said in the past, well, he might not be all that willing to exchange.
Well, the thing is that, Lennox, my whole thing, I'm always give the fighter that I fight credit. That man did all that he could. It's not like he had anything to do with the decision no more than the fight himself. And, he was able to come back when I hit him some shots. I felt that I heard him a few times. He was able to rattle it back. And I feel that the fight was more of a competitive fight than the last fight.
Did his uppercuts hurt you because he seemed to throw a lot of them inside?
Well, no, because he was hitting me on the glove a lot of time, but with all his force, he gonna rise me up anyway. I have to go with it, like that. And he got some good shots in, but the big thing in life is that you give your all.
All right. Given that, do you feel good for yourself, even though you've lost the titles, that you gave everything you had? And after having said that in the last fight you couldn't?
Well, the fact is that, in the last fight I gave all I had, what I had that day, and I gave what I had today. And the fact of the matter is, when it falls into the judge's hand, you have decisions.
Will you continue to fight?
Well, I don't know. Just like I said, I would have to go back. I have to go back and pray about it and see what I want to do.
Thank you. As always, Evander, class act, class fighter. You've been great.
Thank you.
To you, Jim.